Hello and welcome to today's episode. My name is John Gora. You can also call me the motivator. This is a place where I motivate you, I inspire you to achieve. Why? Because it's not about influencing people, but it's about impacting lives and changing those lives into something that I always call keep smiling real. If you smile real, the world becomes happy. So in today's episode, I want to take you through a short discussion on delays, the power of delay. You see, in this world, we are born to do something, to create something, to accomplish a certain mission, to meet some targets. All right? We are born to become somebody. We are born to make history and create new records and become a somebody. If you can be able to overcome all the stresses, to overcome the power of the enemy, and to do what God created you for. But then, what happens along the way? Why do we stress up? Why are histories not being written under our names? There is this one big thing that is called the power of delay. Delays are the mechanism that an enemy uses to frustrate us, to frustrate our minds, to frustrate our ability, to frustrate all the experiences that we have had, all the strength and everything that we have accomplished, to frustrate it so that at least we can settle for less. And whenever we settle for less, we miss the opportunity to hit the target. Delay is a mechanism created by an enemy. It could be a Satan, it could be your friends, it could be your real enemies, the people you call enemies, that are creating those delays in your life, that are creating some gaps in your life to allow frustration to come in. And when you are frustrated, the easiest thing to do after frustration is to settle for less. Let's say, for example, you have always wanted to buy a car. You've always wanted to own a car. And then you go to a driving school and you do your driving, but you don't pass. When you don't pass your driving, it becomes so difficult to own a car because you could be asking yourself, why will I buy a car yet I can't drive? This is delay. And when the delay appears in your life, what enters into your mind is frustrations. And when frustration goes, you settle for less. When you settle for less, you buy the lesser one that you can manage, which is a bicycle or a motorbike. So we don't have that heart, mind, energy, strength to keep trying again, to go back to school, go back to class and learn again until you get the driving license. This happens most often, and I believe as a Christian that Satan is the most admirable person who uses the weapon of delay, because Satan knows so well that you have to be stopped. Satan wants to kill, but because they cannot kill you, because he cannot stop you, what he does is to bring a delay in your life. Along the path, along your success, he brings a delay. And this delay makes you to get frustrated. And once you get frustrated, you settle for less. God is seeing you and saying that you have to be the president of your country. But Satan comes along the way and delays that ambition and looks at you and you look down upon yourself, looks at you and you look down upon the education that you've had, looked at you and you look down upon the paths that you've followed, and you say to yourself that no, it can never be. I cannot be a president of my country because I don't have this, I don't have that. For you to be a president, you need to know somebody. You need to be, at least your family must have been in the political arena. So this kind of delays comes in. Sometimes God promises you and shows you a good job, but the Satan comes with a delay through the manager, a manager who frustrates you so much, a supervisor who frustrates you so much, a job that gives you much time. You work long hours. This is frustrations, and frustrations, once they appear in your life, what comes in is the settling for less. You have to settle for less. When you settle for less, you miss the target, you miss the promise, you miss what you need to get. This is what happens every time. And when we want to overpower the strength of delay, We need to see beyond our eyes. We need to see beyond our feelings. We need to see beyond our stresses. This is what helps us to achieve, to accomplish, to reach the goals that we intend to reach. Because the most difficult part of this life that we live is overpowering the strength of delays. Sometimes God shows you the right man and you start a relationship. But some men come along the way with good gifts more than your man. They come along the way with good words, sweet melodies, sweet songs, sweet things, beautiful chocolates things. And we forget the good man that we have. What happens is the delay comes in and you start getting frustrated. Who to choose? Should I remain with this guy who doesn't give me anything? Or should I go ahead and, start dating this guy who's giving me everything? And this is a way that Satan uses to delay you, to delay your destiny, to delay your promised land, to bring frustrations so that you settle for less. And once you settle for less, you start complaining about other men. You start complaining about life. You start asking God, why always me? What happens is that every time God shows us light, there is always an enemy that sorts our frustrations. If we are not strong enough to see the light, the frustrations will be found. And once they are found, we are always going to settle for less. This is what has always made us not to get what we are targeting to get. But good news is that we can choose to go past the weaknesses that we have that makes us delay. We can choose to get the pain. We can choose to be committed. We can choose to be consistent. We can choose to trust God. We can choose to trust the process. We can always choose to be the people that we want to be. However, the storm comes along the way. We have to stand still. We have to stand strong. We have to put that foundation that is required to make us accomplish whatever we want to accomplish. We have to be prayerful. We have to be hopeful. We have to be able to overcome frustrations. We have to be able to see the bigger picture. We have to understand that there is something that is coming in disguise of pain. My brothers and sisters, my last message for you today is that even the Israelites, when God was taking them out of Egypt, it wasn't easy. There was a lot of delay that happened throughout the journey. And the delay was to test them how strong they were to see the promised land. You saw Moses never saw it. Because of what? Because of frustrations. He was delayed. The Satan delayed him when he went to take the 10 commandments. And when he came back, he found that people had started worshiping other gods. What happened? He broke the 10 commandments. And by that and so many other things that he did, because he was delayed and he got frustrated and he did the wrong way, or he did the opposite as per what God instructed him, he didn't make it to the promised land. The same thing happened to Daniel. Daniel, when he was praying, his prayers was answered, but there was an enemy that came in between and delayed the answers to reach the target where Daniel expected. So there are so many things that we can talk about that brings delay in your life, that brings frustrations in your life. When you learn how you can overcome the delays, then you will overcome frustrations and you will never settle for less. We are made to be bigger. We are made to be powerful. We are made to be great. That is what your target, that is what your mission, and that's what God created you for. So brothers and sisters, it is time not to settle for less. It's time to defeat the enemy. It's time to call it a day, and let us rejoice. Let us rejoice with the powerful way of not settling for less. You are made for greatness, and I was made for greatness. Let's meet and celebrate. My name is John Gora, aka The Motivator. This is a place where we learn, we inspire, and we motivate so that we become better in our lives. As you learn, I learn, and we become bigger and we destroy the power of delay. Until we meet again, Please, if this is the first time and you are inspired with what you had here, it is my pleasure to ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the icon bell also to remind you whenever we publish such videos. Always remember to keep your smile real, because this is what makes you greater than others.